Have you ever been recruited as a witness for a stranger's wedding at the courthouse? Yes. I went in to renew my driver's license and walked out clapping for two people whose last names I barely caught. It was a Tuesday morning, fluorescent lights, gray carpet, a row of metal chairs that made everyone sit like they were waiting for judgment. I had taken the day off work for paperwork, nothing more dramatic than that. Across the hall from the licensing office was a small courtroom used for civil ceremonies. The door kept opening and closing as couples went in and out, some smiling, some nervous, some dressed like they had just come from work. I noticed one couple in particular because they looked stuck. The bride wore a simple cream dress and sneakers. The groom had on a button-down shirt that was slightly too big. They were standing near the wall, whispering urgently. Every few seconds, one of them glanced around the waiting area like they were searching for something they had lost. Finally, the bride approached me. "Excuse me," she said, voice steady but eyes anxious. "This is going to sound strange." That is never a comforting start. She explained that their two witnesses had not shown up. One had a flat tire, the other had gotten stuck at work. The clerk had told them they needed two adults to sign the license or the ceremony could not proceed. They had already paid the fee. Their families were not supportive of the marriage. This was supposed to be simple, quiet, just them. "And we really don't want to reschedule," she added. There was something in the way she said it, not desperation exactly, more like determination that had already survived a few disappointments. I looked at the groom. He gave an awkward half wave. "You don't know us," he said. "We just need someone to watch us say yes." It would have been easy to refuse. I had errands, I had plans, I had no connection to them. But I also had an hour to spare and nothing particularly noble to do with it. So I said yes. They still needed one more witness. The older woman sitting beside me, who had been pretending not to listen, sighed dramatically and said, "Well, I suppose I'm here already." Just like that, we were a team. Inside the courtroom, everything felt smaller than I expected. No aisle, no music, just a judge with kind eyes and a folder in front of him. He glanced at the four of us and smiled. "We have our witnesses?" "We do now," the bride said. The ceremony lasted maybe 5 minutes. Straightforward vows, a few formal words about commitment and legal responsibility. No grand speeches. But when they turned to each other to say "I do," something shifted. They were not nervous anymore. They were certain. The kind of certain that does not need an audience of hundreds to feel real. When the judge pronounced them married, the groom let out a breath that sounded like he had been holding it for years. The bride laughed, a quick burst of joy that echoed against the plain walls. We signed the paperwork. My name now sits on a marriage certificate somewhere in the county records, tied to two strangers whose lives intersected with mine for less than 20 minutes. Afterward, they insisted on taking a photo with us, the four of us standing awkwardly in front of a beige wall. No flowers, no decorations, just wide smiles. "Thank you," the bride said, gripping my hands. "You have no idea what this means to us." I think I did, though. Sometimes a wedding is not about spectacle. It is about two people deciding that today is the day they stop waiting for approval. I never saw them again, but every so often when I drive past the courthouse, I think about that morning, about how easily I could have said no, about how many milestones in life depend on small kindnesses from strangers. I went in expecting bureaucracy. I walked out having witnessed the beginning of someone else's forever, and all it cost me was an hour.